This episode was helped brought to you by our newest sponsor, Kalona Brewing Company. They're a brewery out there in Eastern Iowa. So if you're in the area, make sure to stop by Kalona and check out their brewery. Great food at the restaurant there, great beer, obviously. If you're in the Midwest, check out any Hy-Vees. I believe they carry the 6-packs and they have different types of flavors. So you guys are going to want to, definitely try that out. And I think throughout this whole process, Fishing Kit and myself for Beer Fish Fanatics, we're going to be doing some giveaways here and there. If you guys can go ahead and tag us here and there with your Kalona beer. So other than that, enjoy the episode, guys. All right, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Beer Fish Fanatics. This is Grandy with Ma Pop Fishing. We have
Kit with the Fishing Kit YouTube channel.
And this week, I am drinking the Limber Legs Lager by our sponsor, Kalona Brewing Company. It's their Oktoberfest right here. And I believe you can get these at local Hy-Vees or in Iowa, any of the Hy-Vees. I believe they're carrying them. Shout out to them because we just got back from the Iowa Craft Beer Festival and they actually gave us a few of these to try. I've never tried this one out. So it's getting towards fall here coming soon. So I'm going to try it out. What do you got, Kit?
I got an IPA, my old lover, the Such a Much.
Such a much. Love it. Love it. All right. Cheers, man. Cheers. Oh, yeah. That's definitely in Oktoberfest. So Oktoberfest, and this one's 5.4%, just in case anybody's wondering on that. It's dark beers. Usually Oktoberfest beers are dark beers. It's got a lot of flavor to it. To me, it has a lot of aroma and nutties and all that good stuff. It's like earthy. I don't know if that's a good definition, but it tastes just like earthy. It's to me, I think it's as fall's coming, winter's coming. This is the perfect beer because, it gets a little chillier, colder. And I think this warms you up just right. So try it out. It's actually really good.
Too bad it's like 95 degrees today.
I know. But it's Oktoberfest. If you guys get an opportunity in your local areas, wherever you guys are located, I know we have a lot of people all over the world, all over the nation listen to us. So check out the Oktoberfest in your local areas. They usually have some types of festivals, support local breweries. Are really cool. I'm going to try and see if my wife and I can go this year. We'll see. I don't know, depending with COVID. So who knows, man.
What kind of beer is Oktoberfest? What style is it? Because I really don't know.
I think Oktoberfest. I don't know. Whoever is beer, people can probably check me on this one, but I think it's more of like a dark brown ale. It's more of an ale, darker, or it's just heavier. It has a lot more body to it. It's not like your typical lager or anything like that. It's more of a dark malt. I think they use malts and stuff to brew it and everything, so it's going to be darker. It's going to be heavier body. It's going to be close enough to like a stout almost.
Okay, I googled it. Here's the Google answer. In America, Oktoberfest tend to be a red-hued, slightly sweet beer known as a Marzen.
That's the word, Marzen. Okay, there you go. So
I didn't know that because I was like, Oktoberfest is, I don't know. It always seems like it's kind of its own thing.
Well, I believe the normal Oktoberfest beers are released in September. I know it's called Oktoberfest. It's really weird, but I think because they have, it takes many weeks or months, to brew it, right? So I believe they brew it ahead of time. So they start marketing and releasing them around August, September-ish. And I believe most Oktoberfest are like in September. I don't know why. Well, you can Google it if you see it, but if anybody else can tell me, I have no idea. But I do believe a lot of Oktoberfest is in September. But it's cool. I mean, maybe one year we can take a trip into like Europe. I think it's huge. I mean, that's where it originated from, I believe. Scotland.
German.
Is it German? Yeah, Germany. Yeah. So hopefully one year we can get out there once this COVID crap is kind of tailored down. I don't know, but we'll see. anyways, just kind of give everybody a heads up. Yesterday, Fishing Kit and myself, we were actually in the presence of greatness with Hawkeye Bassin. So you guys can look him up on YouTube. I know he hasn't released a video in quite some time, but he's actually got pretty good following. He's got a couple thousand subscribers on his channel, but he has some pretty good content. But Mr. Hawkeye Bassin himself, Ryan, was able to take Fishing Kit and myself out on his boat, his new boat, and go after some hybrid striped bass. So we were actually able to kind of chase them uniquely. I'd never done that yesterday. We were chasing, what do you call it, boils, and just kind of chasing them. And it was kind of cool because it was a unique situation where we have a unique body of water where you can kind of see where they boil, and you'll see hundreds or thousands of them chasing the shad. So that was kind of cool, man. What did you think, man? How did it go yesterday? And how did you feel being on a boat with me and him?
I wouldn't call it a unique situation. It's just different for us because we're never in a boat.
True.
I know boat guys out there, they do it. And basically any body of water with white bass wipers, bunch of bait fish, they're gonna be busting on the surface in the summer. It was cool, man. Seeing those schools blow up those shad, and the thing is trying to be at the right spot at the right time was the thing.
I mean, I'm like you said, I've never really we don't boat fish often, if at all. Even though we got buddies that got boats now, and hopefully we'll get on there a little bit more often. But it was just different for us. And then chasing like you're saying, it was really unique to kind of see all the boils and then the chase. Like I was telling my wife, I was like, it was like a video game. It felt like a video game. Like we're chasing okay, look over here. Look, okay. We had Fishing Kit on the back. He was looking behind us. It had our driver Ryan here. He was kind of looking left and right in the front. I was in the front, kind of looking in the front. So it was kind of like we were just kind of looking every which way direction just to see where they're surfacing. Yeah. And the moment we were like, oh shoot, we see like 2 or 3, and then next thing you know, oh shoot, we saw like 4 or 5, and then bam, we freaking jetted as quickly as we could over there, and then started casting. It was definitely kind of cool to have everybody have different lures, so just to see what was working, what was not working. I think, like you said, you were telling me yesterday at the end, like I think I'm going to have one top water and one like spoon all set up. So all we need to do is get like 3 rods. I think that would be pretty good. Like one with a spoon, one with top water, and then I was thinking one with something that you can just drag on the bottom.
Yeah, I think next time I'm just gonna do a spoon and then a top water because, well, his boat's not very big, and then if 3 of us got 3 rods, that's 9 rods in a 15-foot boat.
Very true. And we had all our gear too. Well, we didn't have a ton, at least our backpacks and everything. But no, it was like I said, it was really fun to get an opportunity to get on a boat. I think he almost convinced one of us, or at least hopefully Kit here, to get one. I mean, get a boat. Get one.
There's no convincing. It's just a matter of time and money, honestly.
How you can do it, man?
Money, that's a tougher one. Like I'm ready to get one now, but I don't have the money for it.
Well, we just got to get you like about 20,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel, and then you got to release videos like 4 times a week, and then next thing you know, you can be YouTube famous and YouTube rich.
Well, I'll get a new truck first and then get a boat.
There you go. Well, we were talking about that too. Hey, by the way, anybody who's looking for a used truck or anything, good luck. This shit's expensive.
you might as well buy new. I mean, you buy like a 2-year-old truck with like 20,000 miles, and then it's like $2,000 off of a brand new one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of looking to myself to help, not just with the kayak, but I got other toys that the boss wants me to look into. So we'll see what I can do with that. And it's not a boat, obviously. But it was fun. It was really cool because, I think the biggest thing that even Ryan was mentioning was the ticks. There were none. Obviously, we're in a boat, so we didn't have to worry because, most of the time, Fishing Kit and myself, either we're on the kayaks or we're, shore fishing, bank fishing, and we didn't have to worry about ticks. And the only thing we technically had to worry about was the the flies that were biting my legs. That was about it. But other than that, we didn't really have to worry about, bugs or poison ivy or any of that shit. You know what I mean? So the boat has its benefits, and it was really cool. And then accessibility. I mean, I think what do we fish for? About 5 hours yesterday? 5, 6 hours, 5 hours?
Maybe like 3.
Yeah, total fishing wise. Yeah, I think you're right. And the cool thing was about it, we went almost the entire lake. You know what I'm saying? Because we went from south to north, east to west. We were boogieing. If we were kayak fishing, we'd probably do barely a quarter what we did yesterday. If we were bank fishing, we probably did like 2%. You know what I'm saying? Like the ground coverage.
Yeah, that's the big advantage for a boat. You could just cover water.
Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, I think it was definitely a unique experience for, at least for me. Like I said, it's only been a few times I've been on a boat fishing. So I don't do it too often. And I want to do it more often. Takasaki fishing. So I'm going to jump on his boat every so often if I can, just kind of get better at it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll step in the driver's seat or try to back up a trailer one of these days.
I think that, yeah, I mean, that's one of those things where a lot of, I think, new people who are getting boats or thinking about getting boats that they get nervous about. It's the loading and the unloading. I think that's pretty much about it. And driving. Well, this is the thing. I'll tell anybody, if you never driven a trailer or whatnot, yes, it gets a little nerve wracking if you've never done that. But I just recommend just do it, jump into it first, and then drive around, get used to it if you can. Bigger the trailer, surprisingly, the easier it is to drive.
Yeah, because a smaller trailer is gonna swing around a lot more crazy.
Yeah, and it's hard to back up. It turns too quickly, and then you can jackknife it when you know what I'm saying. So, but yeah, it's one of those things. I think a lot of people, before they get in a boat, they're just concerned about that. And then my other biggest concern is that I'm not the handiest person. So when it comes to like servicing the engine and everything, that's not something that I would be good at. I would just have to pay somebody or whatnot. But talking to Ryan a little bit, just kind of knowing the basic maintenance, I think probably would help. But I think just having somebody who knows something about it too, right? Or at least can help you with that. I think that would be ideal.
I mean, I would at least learn spark plugs, the oil, maybe like the gas line, stuff like that. Like basically consumables, I would call them. They just get used up and wear out, then you just got to replace them. But if it's like opening up the thing and then taking stuff apart,
that's not me either.
I don't even think a lot of people are like that, so it's probably not that big of a deal.
No, I get it. And then
unless you're constantly replacing stuff, and then you got a big issue on your hands.
And a lot of people always ask, like, well, you guys got like expensive kayaks. Why didn't you guys get a boat? You know what I'm saying? And I was asking you too yesterday. I was like, if we, ever got a boat, would you ever get rid of your kayak? And you're like, no. And I was thinking to myself, I don't think I would either. It's because it's just different. A lot of people don't realize that a kayak is not the same. I mean, like I said, kayaks, you can technically launch anywhere. So easy. Boats, you have to have a boat launch, and then obviously registration fees and all that stuff. Or at least in Iowa, it's a little bit different because if your kayak is under 13 feet, you don't have to register. So that's a little bit different, saves you a little bit of money. And then maintenance wise, you don't have to worry about no engine. You're the engine on it. So.
Registration is probably like a few bucks anyways. So
true.
It's not even that big of a deal.
Very true. But no, like you said, I think it's just kayaking is just a little bit different. Because we caught, like yesterday, we caught a couple white, hybrid striped bass, and it was, I think if I was on the kayak, it was gonna take us for a nice ride. You know what I'm saying? We're on the boat, so technically it wasn't really pulling. It was still fun. Don't get me wrong. It was still super fun catching it off the boat, but I just felt like it wasn't gonna pull us anywhere because we're on the boat. You know what I mean? But I think that's the biggest difference. I think when you're on the kayak, it just pulls you. It's like it's taking you for a good ride.
Yeah, in the boat, you're just walking around the boat, if anything.
That's what I did. So yesterday, I mean, fishing kit here caught obviously a bigger bass than myself, and it took me like freaking 10 minutes to land it, and this guy lands in like 45 seconds. So that was a little disheartening and embarrassing there, but it's all good. At least I landed it. But I did lose a big one, which kind of sucked. I think So the funny thing was, I think Fishing Kit and Ryan, you guys are like silent for a good 8 seconds because it was one of those like I was like,
Yeah. I was just like, man, how'd this guy get a bite and not me, honestly.
thanks, man. And it was like, yeah. And I was like, yeah, in my back of my head, like, yeah, mother. So I was like, yeah, I got it. And then boom, popped off. And I was like, oh,
That's karma.
yeah.
That's what I call it.
But I didn't even say it out loud. That was
Oh,
just
you
in my
thought
head.
it.
Yeah, I thought it. I did think that. I was like, yeah, I got one. And then boom, it popped off. And I was a little long. I was super long faced. I was like, because it felt really good. But I did catch a decent one come, a little bit after that. And then we were vertical jigging. So just kind of, at first we were chasing the boils and everything, but surprisingly yesterday, for whatever reason, we changed it up. They were on the bottom, whatever the weather or whatever the case was, but they were just on the bottom, and we ended up vertical jigging those wipers, right?
Yeah, we only we only landed two of those nicer wipers. They're probably like 4 or 5 pound range.
Yeah.
And yeah, we vertical jigged those ones because man, when we had that big school blowing up all around us, for some reason we did not hook up. Not one of us got a bite.
Nope.
It was weird.
It was crazy. Like Kid was saying, is that it was surrounding a boat. It was literally surrounding our boat, the boil, and it wouldn't even matter where you're casting because it was just boiling all around us. And then we could not, it was the weirdest thing. We just couldn't, nobody could even get a bite out of us. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think you gotta throw it like right in their face because they're in a school of shad. Yeah, it's like throw it right on top of them.
Yeah. No, I agree. I kind of want to talk to you a little bit about boat etiquette. Obviously, we don't boat, so I don't know much. We don't know. I don't know how boat etiquette works. And when I say boat etiquette, I'm talking about boat etiquette versus boaters and bank fishermen. Because I swear I hear this so many times. Like people are on the banks fishing, they get annoyed. Like, why is that boater always coming right here? And or they come so close, you're like, you got the whole effing lake. Why the F are you right there? You know what I'm saying? Is there, I don't know, man. You tell me. You bank fish quite a bit. And then the crazy thing is, oh, not crazy, but boaters come to you for, obviously because you're catching, they see you. What's the etiquette on that? If there's an etiquette, is there, I don't know.
Etiquette doesn't mean anything. There's no rules. They don't have to do anything.
Okay. No, touche. No, you're right.
Doesn't mean that, some of them aren't jerks. Especially, like I was catfishing that one day. I was the only one on shore. It's probably like at least a mile stretch of shoreline.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. I was probably the only person there for like 5 miles. And then this boat sees me double up on some catfish, drops his anchor, just like straight out in front of where my boats are, and he's casting towards the bank, and I'm casting out. My lines are already casted out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, if you want to fish with me, invite me onto your freaking pontoon.
Right? No, I mean, so that's my thing too. Is that we're limited as bank fishermen, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, that's why I think a lot of bank fishermen feel, I would say they're, you should give us the room because you got the whole damn lake. I think that's what they think a lot. Like you just said, though, they don't have to. There's no law or rule. They can technically freaking boat right up to you and just be a bunch of DBs and, fish right there if they really wanted to. But common sense and etiquette, that's what I was asking. It was just like, if you were the boater, would you do that? You know what I'm saying?
No, I wouldn't. Like I made a post about it. Like I wasn't like complaining on the post or anything. I was just stating the fact that I was here and then I caught fish and these boats showed up.
No.
And then I was saying, man, the great thing about having a boat is you go anywhere you want. And then these guys go right in front of me. And people are like, oh, it's a public lake, blah, blah, blah. And then they're like, well, you can go fish anywhere you want. Like, yeah, but that's not the point. Like I was already here and this boat just came up on me. Like it'd be different if the boat was already there and I go there and complain that he was in my spot. Yeah, which I wasn't doing that. And there were probably those same type of jerks that would do that stuff. that were saying that kind of stuff. Like if I had a boat, saw some dudes catching fish on the bank,
Hmm.
especially if there's like a mile short, like a mile, at least a mile worth of shoreline,
Hmm.
dude, just go like 100, 200 yards down. But if
Yeah,
I were them that day, I would have been dragging baits for catfish.
yeah,
You got a boat. Come on,
yeah.
dude.
And I think you're really right on that. It's like, I mean, you don't technically have to go and cast where he just cast the bank fisherman. You could just go 100 feet that he's not going to be, he's not casting towards,
Yeah.
and you're still in the same vicinity.
Yeah, like for me to make that effort to move
Yeah. No,
is, I got to pick up all my stuff. Like in a boat, you
yeah.
just bloop, just go. I don't
It's
know what it's at the end of the day, public lake, that's what people are going to say. And I could fish wherever I want, even though I was there first, but whatever.
get it, but I think like it's common courtesy. I guess
Yeah,
not common, like you said, it's not so common, but it's just courtesy, man. You
yeah,
would.
it is.
It's just like, I mean, I think we feel that way is because we bank fish a lot, and we're just like, come on, dude. We, you know what I mean? We're not on a boat like you, and you can go over there. Like you just said, you can fish here. We're not saying you have to go across the lake. We're just saying just go, like you said, 100 feet this way where I'm not even fishing. I can't cast to you. And like, I think that's the biggest thing. Like first, it's almost like a first come, first serve. Is that should be
Yeah,
right? You know what I mean? Because if you were there first, you're fishing that spot, you're casting out wherever you're casting to, that should be like, that should be like indoctrinated to any angler. If somebody's fishing right there and he's there first or she's there first, it should be first come, first serve rule, man.
yeah, yeah. It's not like I was claiming that spot was mine, and I was mad that he showed up. I was just mad because I was already there, and then he showed
Yeah.
up.
No, because and I bring this up is because we were fishing the other day at one of the lakes that we like to, the reservoir that we like to fish at, and these boats were coming up towards us. I don't know if you saw that when we were fishing for white bass the other day, and the gentlemen's that came next to us, they're just like, freaking boaters. You got the whole effing lake, one of the biggest lakes in Iowa, and you guys got to come right on us. And I get that, it was, and we were there first, and they were there first. So, and then the boat started inching closer and closer and closer towards us, especially after Bo was catching.
Yeah,
So, and I get that, but and that's why I brought that up, because that's not even the first time. I've been hearing that quite a lot lately. It's just like the lakes are huge, fish are everywhere, and I get it. It's a lot easier to boat over to a shore person who's catching and fish next to them, but at least stay out of their casting distance. That should at least
yeah.
be. That should at least be. Yeah, that's got to be guaranteed. Make sure that they can't cast at least to you, right?
I don't know.
It gets it,
I
I get
mean,
it.
there's people that are gonna cast into your boat if you're in casting distance.
Very
So
true.
you're kind of asking for it if you're the boat guy.
Yeah, I hear it all the time. Yeah, catch cast a, whatever 60-pound line with braid with like a 5-ounce or 6-ounce thing, and to do it on purpose to kind of teach the boater a lesson. I don't know if that's a good thing or not. That's just asking for a fight, but for
Yeah,
fishing.
yeah, overfishing, but I don't know. Don't really have to deal with it too much, but
True, but well, I don't know. I don't catch enough for them to come over towards me, so I don't have to worry about that at all.
like like that day, the catfish day, those guys in the pontoon, like
Yeah,
I should have been like, hey, let me get up on there. I'll show you how to catch some damn catfish.
you should have.
We'll go drag some baits, dude. We'll tear them up.
You should have. Yeah, that
I
would have been
should have.
interesting. You should have said, hey, you guys mind if I jump on? You should have done. Yeah, that's exactly what you should have done. You should have yelled at them, hey guys, since you guys are over here, do you mind if I jump on and we can drag baits and kill it?
I'll show you how to catfish. I mean, obviously,
Yeah.
they're probably casual fishermen, don't really know what they're doing. Like, oh, hey,
True.
that guy's catching fish. I don't know why he would think that he has to fish where I'm fishing, but but like I said, he might not know that much about fishing, and
True.
he's just thinking, oh, this is the best chance I got, fish near this guy.
Yeah. I mean, I do the same thing too, I guess, especially ice fishing too. I do that once in a while. You see people catching over there. I'm like, all right, I'll inch a little closer. But I think ice fishing is a little bit different.
See, the thing is, I go up to people and talk to them before I do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, you care if I fish over here?
See, but that's like you said, that's courtesy.
Yeah, because
That's common courtesy.
I would expect people to do the same for me. That's why I
Yeah.
would do it. Like for ice, it's
Yeah.
easy too. Ice fishing,
Yeah.
dude. Like you just go up, talk to people.
Yeah.
That's the cool. Like that's one of the cool things about ice fishing. Like you just walk up to someone, hey, talk to them, see how they're doing, see, ask them if they're catching anything, and
Yeah.
then
I agree with you. I think ice fishing, you definitely get a chance to what is that, socialize more with people because like you just say, we're both on the water, and you like you just say you can kind of talk to them because on a boating, it's kind of a little bit different to talk to people who are boating because you're kind of moving and everything.
yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. But still though, that's just out of courtesy, man. Common courtesy. You just ask, but then boaters. That's why I was just wondering because I remember us going fishing and then just hearing that. And then, like I said, I think that was probably like second time I've heard that recently too. Like, some shore fishermen yelling at these boats, and getting a little bit too close. That's why I was wondering if there's a etiquette or whatever. But like you said, they can do whatever the hell they want. Changing subjects a little bit. Kayak safety, man. The reason why I saw, I don't know, the other day I was just on YouTube doing the YouTube freaking rabbit hole shit. And then just kind of looking at kayak safety, man. Is a fisherman who fishes off a kayak or just kayak in general, I mean, what do you think are the main safety precautions that they should take or invest in besides life jacket? Well, a life jacket's number one for sure.
Life jacket's number one.
What else would you say?
Like stuff to buy or just like
Or maneuvers or things to keep in mind? I think both. All the above. Just kayak safety, fishing safety. Let's just say that. Kayak fishing safety.
um life jacket's number one. Even if you know how to swim good, but you never know what can happen out there. You'd be Michael Phelps, but if you get knocked out somehow, your gold medals aren't going to do you anything. Go out on fair days. Don't tempt fate with the crazy weather. Like, oh, there ain't going to be nobody out there. The weather's a little crazy. Go out there. Then,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm guilty of that too. Like, oh man, super windy, but I'm going to go anyways. And then I had a couple close calls with the the drift sock because it gets caught and stuff. It got caught in my drive, and I'm out there bouncing in the waves. I had to pull my drive out, get my drift sock out of the way, and then put my drive back down. Then go on my way. But I was getting pushed up against rocks. I was probably like 10 yards away from some big rocks, and the waves are like bashing up on the rocks.
How fast do you think the wind was going right then that day?
It was probably like 20 that day.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually a really good thing is that if you're gonna kayak fish and if you're just jumping into it, or even if you're just just slowly have just been into it for like a year or two, the wind is major. And when I say that, it's because like you're saying, because 20 miles, I think anything from honestly 12 miles an hour and on up, it's going to be a little choppy. Expect choppiness. And
Big Lake, like 5 to 10 is going to be choppy.
Yeah. But I think once you get into the double digits and you get 15 to 20 miles an hour, I mean, you're going to get some pretty good white caps that it's number one, you're going to get a hell of a workout kayaking in that. And then number two, it's easily to tip over, once you get to that level, I think, right? Don't you think? Around at least 20 miles an hour. And then you get some really big white caps. I think you can.
Well, it's not really the white caps. It's just how big the waves are rolling.
True.
Because you can have small waves and have white caps still.
Yeah. Yeah. Another one is, and then I haven't done this yet, was kayaking on the river and not anchoring down. I think I saw that on the YouTube, and actually just talking like Denny and Spencer and everything. They're like, yeah, that's like the biggest no. Like you don't ever want to anchor down if you're kayaking on the river.
I don't kayak fish. I don't kayak the river at all. So I can't really speak from experience, but when you anchor, that's like the most dangerous time in the kayak. Yeah, you can't get out of a situation if you're anchored to the bottom.
Mm, very true. And I think they said also, I think it was either Spencer or Denny. They're like the one thing, if you're anchored down on the river, like it can go one direction, and then I think the way, or yeah, the way the river is moving one direction, and you can spin, and then all of a sudden if you're anchored down, it can tip you over, like you get sucked in or some shit like that you can all of a sudden tip over. Like you said, I don't really kayak the river. I'm not brave enough quite yet. And then number one is, and then number two is that I think pedal kayaks, I don't think is probably the safe, well, not the best in regards to kayaking on the river. I guess I just use my paddle though. Yeah.
Well, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, we're talking, our small, shallow rivers. Like
Yeah.
if we were down in like Tennessee fishing like the Tennessee River where it's like, a few hundred yards across and there isn't like the current's pretty much just going straight. And the thing with our small rivers is there's a whole bunch of like micro currents, currents going this way, currents going that way.
Yeah.
That's when it gets dangerous.
Very true. All right. I'm joining the club. Well, see, to the point where I can't even see it during the sucker. Such a much IPA. I need a little bit of IPA in me, man.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm still sipping away at mine.
But no, I think another thing is with kayak fishing, I think you told me this, and I think you see this all the time on YouTube. Flip the kayak on purpose when you get an opportunity, and work on flipping it back up. Like if you're not good at swimming, or if you don't want to panic in case the kayak ever flips over on you, I think it's good to do a what do you call that?
Self-rescue.
There you go. Self-rescue. Practice that. I think that's good. I think are you supposed to have like a whistle on you? Is that a law here or anything like that? I know like like if you're fishing out in the ocean, I think you're supposed to have whistles and shit like that on you. I
I
don't know.
don't think it's a law here, but it doesn't help.
Does it hurt? You mean doesn't hurt?
Or it doesn't hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
So
hurt.
there you go. Yeah, have that. Oh, one other thing. It's the reason why I was wearing this RoboHawk. So your phones, because my phone, thank goodness for this. I have a tether that I bought from RoboHawk, and also that I use one of those waterproof things for your phones. Because you're fishing, you want to take a picture of yourself or whatnot. You don't want to lose your phone. And my phone has actually twice now since I had in that plastic thing. Maybe it's because that the reasoning, but it's actually dropped inside of my drive, the water drive, and twice, like dropped in there. And luckily, I had the tether and everything, and it's waterproof. So I highly recommend that. Also a pedal drive. I think Kit brought that one up. It's really important because I think I think that was the very first thing that I noticed. So when you purchase a pedal drive and you're fishing, watch out for the lines to get in your drive. It happened to me when I went fishing the very first time with you with my pedal kayak. It happened to me at least 3 times, right? You're like, yep, you got to keep an eye on your line. And it's like, it sucked, dude. It sucks because it got to the point where, because I have braided line, I had to cut it twice. And then another one, I finally got it. I got it out a couple times, but it sucks because if you're especially when you're drifting, when you're fishing and you're drifting, you don't realize it. And it kept happening to me. I was pedaling, and then you're like, "Yep, your line is caught in your freaking, pedal, your drive again."
I think your problem is you're drifting, but then you were drifting with your line underneath your kayak. Like I never drift with my line underneath my kayak. You know what I'm saying? If I'm drifting this way, my lines are out that way.
Gotcha.
Not, I think what you're doing, you're drifting this way, but then you had your line going underneath your kayak.
Yeah. And I
That's
think
the only way you would get caught up on your drive.
And I think I was just so excited to be fishing on a pedal kayak that I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just casting it to my right or casting it to my left. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just casting it and just really whatever. I wasn't even thinking about that. But no, I think you're right. Definitely. oops, or use common sense, Grandy, but I get that. It's like, but yes, that's one thing you learn. And it was a tough lesson because I had to cut my line. Like, God, that
I
sucked.
think it was 3 times.
Two I
It
cut.
was 3 times.
You sure I cut
We
it
got
twice?
tangled like 3 times.
Yeah, but I cut it twice.
Still got tangled 3 times.
I know. Thanks, man. I gotta remember so well, buddy.
I was just like, man, how does that even happen? But then again, I don't have a prop drive.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's I got a Hobie, so I got the fins.
Yeah.
They kind of just go like this in the water.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they don't get as tangled. I can still get tangled if my line gets down there, but
Not as bad.
it's not
Yeah.
as bad as a prop that just
Yeah.
keeps spinning.
And that's the biggest thing because once you get it spinning, if you don't realize it, let's just say it goes like two or three times before you're like, oh shoot. And it get braid like I do. It's like, oh, he gets caught up in there. It's like it's not fun.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't call it like a dangerous situation, but I guess it could be if you're in bad weather.
Yeah.
But the bad weather in itself is already making the situation dangerous.
Agreed. But do a little homework, check the weather, make sure not too windy. And it sucks, man. You're not gonna want to kayak fish in the wind. It's not
Yeah.
I mean, it might be okay if you go in a specific direction, but then you're still gonna have to come back against the wind and just dealing with the waves and everything. It's just not as fun when you're kayaking against the wind. So try and plan for that if you can. But yeah, I don't want to see anybody get hurt. That's why I just like want to talk a little bit about the safety issues because I just, like I said, I went down a rabbit hole on that. I still need to do that with my pedal kayak. I haven't done that yet, like the flip or self rescue yet. I think it's a little bit different with because I have a large, obviously it's a 13-foot kayak, so it's a little bit bigger. I never had to flip over a pedal kayak. I don't know how to. It looks easier because so this is the thing. I saw what people do because you actually have something to brace yourself on and pull the propeller, the actual the pedal. So what I've seen what people do is Alex from that we had on our podcast before down in Florida. I saw his video, and what they do is because you know how typically you jump over and you got to pull the whole thing over, right?
Yeah.
You have to flip it back. So, but what he did, or what I've seen is instead of jumping on top of the kayak to pull from the other end to flip it back over, people which actually pull the propeller and just pull that part down and get to a point where it'll actually just kind of flip over. So it's a little bit easier, actually. I've seen with the pedal kayak. So that's one way I can self-rescue yourself.
Yeah. Well, you just got something else to grab onto.
Yeah. So, but no, I got to try that. Hopefully, if I get a chance to do that, when I have free time, definitely something I want to do because I want to be prepared in case that shit happens. It could happen.
It could easily happen.
Yeah.
Especially when we're, going after big catfish.
Yeah.
You reach over to pull up that fish. Next thing you know, you're going into the water with the fish.
Oh, I did feel luckily I had a good kayak. And that's the biggest thing when you purchase a kayak, make sure you get a stable one. I did feel, when I was catching that blue cat, I could feel, I'm glad that I had such a stable kayak because I was feeling that it was pulling me over a little bit. And then, like I said, I was caught in a freaking anchor. So you can just imagine, my dumbass so excited trying to get this thing up, how I was leaning over and yanking that. And I'm not the freaking slimmest. So leaning to one side, trying to pull that shit up and not being slim. I was putting a lot of effort and force on one side. So if I would have had my old kayak or any other kayak, there's a possibility I could have flipped easily. I really believe that.
Yeah, but you're also not sitting as high either in your old kayak.
True. I don't know, man. I'm just glad I just have a more stable kayak than previously. I just feel way more confident catching a big fish or just fishing in general, like just confident in regards to safety wise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Then this is the thing. If anybody who's never kayak fished and starting listening to this podcast and like thinking about it, go jump on one. Because when the first time you get on one, you're like, holy crap, it's very wobbly because you got to get used to it. You know what I mean? A lot of people, when you first jump on that kayak, you're gonna be like, even it could be the greatest kayak of all time. You're gonna be like, wow, it's not very. It's just you gotta get used to stabilization, just understanding what the tipping point is.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you're not leaning over the edge, should be fine.
Should be fine. But all right, man. Yeah, anything else, guy, for this week?
I'm just looking forward to hopping on that boat again tomorrow.
Oh
Try
yeah.
catch some wipers.
So, yep, everybody, you guys gotta go check out Fishing Kits. Hopefully, you get a chance to record better and bring your freaking cord, guy. So this guy went with us yesterday. Didn't bring his spare cord for his secondary camera.
Actually, I had my battery pack. I could have used my battery pack, but there wasn't enough room to set up a tripod in that boat.
You can tomorrow if it's just you two.
No, Bo. I think Bo's going.
All right, cool. No. Still, you can still record though tomorrow,
which is what I did yesterday.
Oh yeah, but no. Check out Fishing Kits channel. Hopefully, you guys catch some good stuff tomorrow. I think the weather should be favorable.
Yeah, I think so.
Cool. So hopefully you get some nice wipers or hybrid striped bass. I used to call them that.
I say wipers, like hybrid striped bass. It's a mouthful. Wipers. That's it. Even though it's only one more. Wait, hybrid striped bass. Even though it's only two. It's like half the effort. Wipers. Hybrid striped bass.
There you go. But no, man, good luck to you guys tomorrow. Hopefully you guys catch some fish. I'm gonna go out of town with the family and everything, but hopefully next week I can get back on. We'll see how the fish is biting in these, the hot weather. Actually, I think we're supposed to get a little bit of a cool down here in the next week or so. At least I want
tomorrow.
Yeah, like 10 degrees warmer or cooler finally.
That's a big difference.
Yeah. So actually, that's gonna be interesting how that. Let me know. We can do another podcast. And I want to know how it affect the bite. Did it make it better, greater, better? You know what I'm saying? Worse, or whatever the case may be. Did they change? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna think it's gonna be better.
I think so. I think and also if the wind helps a little bit too. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not gonna be as windy. I mean, it wasn't even that windy really. Yesterday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you're trying to say. So, in case anybody's wondering, Fishing has been fishing a lot lately. Because how's your truck?
Oh yeah, my truck's. So I was doing 2 videos a week on my YouTube channel, and my truck's been out of commission for like a week now. I probably should have stopped driving it a couple weeks ago, but I'm leaking coolant into my passenger side behind the glove box. Most likely a heater core. So I just been driving my my convertible, and I'm not gonna take it fishing because I got 1-piece rods. I mean, I could throw it in, just drop top, throw them in my passenger side.
I was gonna tell you to do that anyways, but
yeah, but then I gotta take it to work, bring it inside work.
Oh,
I don't want to deal with all that.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm not gonna leave them, in my car at work.
Yeah,
with the top down. I don't like leaving the top down, like if I'm parking for a long time.
Yeah, no, I get that. Well, hopefully, you can get that truck fixed and get back on there so you can keep pumping out the content, Kit.
Yeah, so I'm going back to 1 video a week.
Okay,
just so I could, just so I don't blow my load.
Yeah,
in a couple weeks. That way I can push it out for like a month or so.
Yeah, and no. Everybody stay tuned. We're still working. I think we're gonna release a couple more bonus episodes here and there. We'll do some product reviews, some more beer tasting stuff. If I think when this episode comes out, probably a little bit after the one that we did a little bit at the Iowa Craft Beer Festival. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. I know if you probably see it by now or hear it by now, there's a lot of people who came up to our table, surprisingly, came to talk to 2 Asian guys at a craft beer festival that wasn't offering craft beer. So that was that was unique, man. I had a great time with Fishing Kit here. I definitely want to give a shout out to the Iowa Guild. Was it brewery guilds?
The Iowa Craft Beer Guild.
Yeah, for allowing us to even be a part of that. Thank you so much on that, giving us a time and just a table for us to just kind of meet people who love beer and fishing. It was really cool. A lot of people stopped by. They're like, yeah, we love fishing. Yeah, we love craft beer. So that was
everyone at least liked beer. Not everybody liked fishing.
True. But you know what? The funny thing was people who didn't even like fishing still stopped by and even talked to us like, wow, this is unique. And it was really cool to meet us and talk to us. So that was awesome to have them that. And then, like I said, big shout out to Christina at Kalona Brewing for just even giving us, just telling them, hey, can these guys have a spot and, getting us in there. Awesome time, man. I like I said, we're going to do it again next year, whether we're in there, a vendor or not. Maybe we just, put a table outside or just take a truck and just sit in the back of my truck bed and we just, do a podcast there. It was just so much fun. I just had so much fun. And I think it was a great time. I hope you had fun, man.
It was pretty fun. Just super hot.
Yeah.
A lot of people. I was surprised how much people were there.
Yeah. It was super. But I think next year, we have, if we're a part of it, if they allow us to be a part of it, I think I have some good ideas at the Toad Fishing Kit that we'll talk about, and we'll have some good giveaways and everything and freebies for you guys if you guys get a chance to go there and stop by and help support local businesses. So
yeah, I got some ideas for next year.
Yep, sounds good, man. Other than that, stay tuned, guys. We will, like I said, I'm still working on some logistics and everything upcoming October. Still going to be doing that, the cleanup. I think it's going to be October. I got too many things going on in September, so October might be the best bet. I'll let you guys know date and location in regards to the cleanup that BFF will do. And I talked to Kalona Brewing Company, and they will help sponsor and do what, I don't know if they're going to be able to donate some beer depending on legalities and all that crap. So we'll see what they can do on that. So be pretty cool. So make sure you guys just stay tuned to us, and then I'll let you guys know as that comes down the road, man. So other than that, you got anything else, Guy?
I'm ready for bed. That's all I got. Oh yeah. I'm starting to post like a little short videos. So I know some people think the YouTube videos are kind of long, but I'm posting those 1 minute little clips for like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube shorts. They're like, they're just one, like if you guys just want to see 1 minute clips, just check them out.
The highlights.
Yeah, not even a highlight. It's like a highlight because it's like a minute long.
Yeah, but it's all right. Hey, check it out, man. Support us and everything. I definitely appreciate it. Hey, tell people about this podcast. If you like it, if you listen to this far already listening to us, you might as well tell somebody that, hey, you know what? These guys aren't too bad. They know a little. Well, one guy knows fishing. The other guy just talks a lot. Tell them that. Can't be that bad. Could be worse. You can listen to horse shit out there. There's a lot of horse shit, man. Podcast, by the way. I'm telling you, dude. We may not be the best, but good God, there's some horrible ones out there. Just say it.
Yeah, we're just off the cuff.
There you go, man. But other than that, guys, you know what? Tell people, follow us, subscribe to the podcast, YouTube, whatever, download, listen to us. Give us reviews, by the way. Yeah, I was looking that up the other day. We actually got pretty decent reviews. So if you guys get a chance, if you guys have like 1 minute time to spare, go to iTunes. If you're listening to this on iTunes or whatever, give us some reviews. It helps for whatever reason. Give us whatever reviews, bad or good. I really don't care. Just be honest about it. But yeah, give us some reviews on the iTunes. That it would really help us out on that. And then, like I said, just subscribe to the YouTube. Goal by the end of this year, if we can get to 100 subscribers on YouTube. But honestly, we're getting really good downloads, so I definitely appreciate that. I think people would rather listen to us than see us. I don't know what that says.
I think we should have just did the YouTube channel from the get-go.
True,
but we were still trying to figure stuff out. Yeah,
but you know what? People, like I said, I was talking to my wife. I go, yeah, we have pretty good downloads. They don't like to see us though. So I'm like, great. I don't know what that means, honey. But it's all good.
Well, you're like, they're not going to sit down and watch it for an hour straight. True. They'll just let it play in the background.
Yeah. And you might, what's the point then? You might as well, if you already have it on your phone or whatever. So I get that. Appreciate that, guys. But if you can, you got a minute or two, give us a review, good or bad. I definitely appreciate that. And I'm pretty sure Fishing Kid would appreciate that too. But check out his channel. Other than that, I got a couple guests lined up. We'll see what we can do in the next couple weeks, but stay tuned and have a good week. Get out there and fish, guys, before winter comes. All right.
Yep. Can't come soon enough for some people.
Till next time.
All right. See you guys.